Hey guys, welcome back to the Homestead Homeschool. We're headed down to the barn with the baby bottle for the baby. Going to do afternoon chores, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we use permaculture practices here on our homestead. If you're not familiar with permaculture, basically it is the use of the ecosystem, just trying to keep it ecosystem flowing and using renewable resources that you have on your homestead to make things run smoothly. We're not taking the bike in the pen, babe. Y'all are sweet. It's a pretty day. Sun shining, blue skies, but it's just cold. Hey, Mama. Hey, sweet Luna girl. Sometimes I just like to come out, hang out in the barn with the goaties. Can't stay sitting inside all day. That's why I'm looking so forward to spring weather and summer, warmer weather. Everybody had to come follow Mama? I need a rake in here. I've just been raking up all the hay that they've wasted. While we were going on vacation, I put hay inside the barn in these hay feeders here. And if you have goats, you know that they're notorious for wasting hay. They'll pick through it and pick out what they want, and then what they don't want, they'll just spit it out and leave it on the ground. So this is all wasted hay. I'm gonna rake all this up, and we're gonna use it. We use it on the garden. So I'll bring a wheelbarrow down here and shovel all this up, take it over to my garden, and I'll either put it in the compost or I'll put it directly on my garden beds where it'll just break down and I'll actually like compost it in place on the beds using it as mulch, which kind of just adds. Cold out here, bud. Get your arms in. So basically we're just trying to produce as less waste as possible. Anything that is produced here on the homestead by the animals pretty much goes back to the animals. So they waste the hay, I put it on the garden. Stuff out of the garden feeds us, feeds the chickens, feeds the pigs.
Just feeds everybody.
That's right. So
we don't have no pigs yet though.
Not right now we don't. We've had pigs in the past, and
after we sell this goat we'll have some pigs, won't we?
Well, we're gonna probably get some more pigs here in the next few weeks. We're looking at probably this next coming up weekend we're gonna start working on our pig pen. But some other permaculture practices that we try to do here with the chickens, we try to run the chickens. See, we have that chicken tractor there. Try to run our chickens out here on the pasture, which is something we just recently started doing. They feed the pasture feeds them, pasture feeds the goats. So basically everything's kind of working together is what we're trying to do. And as far as with the garden, we're trying to do more permaculture practices with the garden. In the past, we've taken a tiller and tilled up our garden. Now we're starting to do more of a no-till type garden. When you till up your garden, you've got to keep the weeds out, because basically Mother Nature's going to cover herself. As Justin Rhodes says all the time on his videos, Mother Nature is modest and she likes to be covered. So if you don't cover her, she's going to cover herself. So we're trying to use that hay to cover her, basically as a thick mulch in the garden. And I'll just bring that down here to the garden and cover my beds with it, as you can see. That helps keep the weeds out. I know we don't have weeds right now because it's the middle of winter, but when it is growing season, that really cuts back on the weeds by mulching heavily. So probably that's just a way of feeding the soil and making less work for me. It's a more natural way of doing things than tilling up the garden. So our little pea shoots are coming on up here. Looking good. But I've still got some beds. I've been trying to cover the beds, get the beds all covered with hay. I've got this bed here that needs to be covered in the very back bed. Then they're all pretty much mulched. I mulched this one with leaves. So basically you can mulch them with any type of organic matter. Just cover your bed to make sure your beds stay covered. Leaves, hay, straw. The one thing we have an abundance of here is hay, because the goats waste so much of it. But also we're surrounded by woods, so we got an abundance of leaves, and so we've used that to mulch our garlic last year, which worked out really good, as you can see. The garlic's looking really good. I'm really happy with how it's looking. So yeah, basically that's all. Everything working together. And what we don't use in the garden just goes right over to our compost pile over here and is broken down and will eventually be used in the garden. So you can see we got hay in that one. This was basically all hay and manure from the barns being mucked out, chicken coops. And all that just breaks down. We put grass clippings in there when we cut the grass. And that all turns into black gold that we can use in the garden. Helps everything grow so much better. So I'm excited this year to see how the garden does. We're gonna head on over here and get the wheelbarrow and go down there and shovel up all that hay. Cass. Stay out of the way, girl. If I don't watch it, Cassie will wait till I get my wheelbarrow plumb full, and then she'll knock it over. Now we'll go take his wheelbarrow full and go put it on the garden beds. As I rake all this hay up, Grayson's been up in the hayloft up there with his chicken.
Not for long though, because I just came down here.
Yep. Tell him what that one's name is.
Fluff Top.
This is Fluff Top. She's funny looking, ain't she?
You have to look at the side of her to just see her eyeballs.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to knock Fluff Top out with the wheelbarrow.
I'm sorry, Fluff Top. I don't want to knock you out with the wheelbarrow.
His name is Cruxton. I don't know why I named him that, but I did.
Besides just helping keep the weeds out of the garden, putting this mulch on there also helps retain moisture, which Helps the plants to grow a little better too, because all that hay holds moisture, so you don't have to water as frequently. Last year I mulched my tomato beds with hay, and they did really, really well. I started out with weeds all around my tomato beds. I wound up mulching them with hay towards the end of the summer. Killed off all those weeds, and tomatoes did great. All right, now once I get all my beds mulched, they're pretty much all mulched now, except for this one little strip right here. And I'll get that done in the next day or two with hay waste from the barn. And once they're all mulched and I don't really need any more on the beds, that's when I'll start putting it in the compost. And then after a while of doing that, this out here will be broke down and be time to put it on the beds again. So it's just a cycle. All right, y'all, that's gonna wrap up today's video. Just thought I'd share a little bit about how we use some permaculture practices here on our small homestead. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.